This is Vet Your Pet. My name is Dr Peter Higgins, and today's topic is going to be what not to feed your dogs and cats. Now, I guess if you're watching this, you're probably an animal lover, otherwise you wouldn't be watching in the first place. However, sometimes we actually do kill our animals with kindness, literally. And so there are some things that we eat that dogs and cats shouldn't eat. They are not mini versions of us. So let's have a look at a couple of things that we commonly eat, which are actually in fact quite good for us, but may not be for dogs or cats. One of the things that we often eat ourselves is this little number over here, garlic. Now, as well as keeping away vampires, it actually is quite good for one's health, person's health. But however, dogs can't metabolise this. If they eat too much garlic, they can get very sick, and the ongoing consequences of that is that they can actually get intestinal problems and also problems with their circulatory system. Similarly, what's a steak without onions? And if I have a steak, I've got to have an onion with it, okay? I like onions. And onions are actually quite good for you. It's believed they actually can absorb a number of toxins, but for dogs, they're toxic. They can actually poison dogs again. And the reason for that is it actually affects the circulatory system and their blood clotting mechanism. So for those pleading eyes at the barbecue that are going, "Why are you cooking the steak? Can I have some of that?" Never ever give onions. Onions for dogs is a big no-no. Can't do, shouldn't do. Okay? Another thing that we might have, we're talking about barbecues, and actually one of the things that you might have in a barbecue is an avocado. Now again, avocados, good source of protein, good source of fat, good fats, and apart from that, they taste great. But again, dogs can't metabolise them, they can't eat them, they can't put them through their systems. And if they do, once again, you can get a dog that actually starts to vomit, and you actually get a dog that can become quite sick and even to the point where you have to take them to a vet. So again, a simple thing like avocado, which is good for us, not good for our puppy dogs or pussycats for that matter either. Now this is a real bugbear of mine. One of the favourite tricks of some people I know is to give their dogs a little bit of beer. So we might have beer from this kind of contraption here, and it tastes good, and adult consumption of it is up to individuals. But once again, dogs don't actually have the enzyme in their livers that can metabolise beer or alcohol of any sort for that matter. So in fact, if you give a dog, unfortunately it's a party trick which is not very funny, if you did give a dog a saucer full of beer or a bowl full of beer, they can poison their liver. And the result of poisoning their liver is they can not digest food because of that, and they can actually become lethargic and so sick. Once again, they need to see a vet. And dogs can die of alcoholic poisoning. So even just a bowl full of beer, not a good trick at all. Should never ever do it. Similarly, when we talk about things, we might just go over to our fridge over here and see what's in the normal household refrigerator. The humble refrigerator. Let's have a look in here to see what's in the family refrigerator that can be dangerous to our pets. Okay, first of all, without even trying very hard, raw salmon. Okay, so we might like sushi. Sushi's good fun, but for a dog, you can sometimes get problems with the digestion of the raw fish. So raw fish should not be given to a dog or a cat for that matter either. Now cooked fish is different again. We can do that, and in fact that's quite good for them. But raw fish, just be careful with that one. It's something that you really shouldn't be doing to a dog or a cat. The other thing that's in the fridge, just randomly looking in here, is parsley. Now parsley, love the smell of parsley. Parsley smells great. But again, that can cause vomiting, diarrhea. Dogs can't digest it, neither can cats, and it can cause problems with their digestive tract. So parsley, again, is not a vegetable substance that we should be feeding to our dogs or cats. What else can we find in our fridge in here? Oh, here we go, here's another favourite one of mine, macadamia nuts. Now macadamia nuts, very tasty, one of my favourite nuts in fact. But again, dogs can't metabolise a large number of nuts that can cause, and it can cause digestive problems, and it can cause other problems too. In severe cases, it can even cause tremors. So again, if you've got a macadamia nut tree in the backyard, or you have some macadamia nuts for cooking, then keep them away from dogs because it can cause digestive problems, or even worse, if they eat them in large amounts, it can cause tremors and seizures and things like that. And again, while we're in the fridge, I've already mentioned this one, but let's just double check it. Even wine. I spoke about beer before, not giving beer, but wine can cause problems to a dog. So once again, it's another form of alcohol, but it shouldn't be given to dogs. In a severe case, it can cause clinical depression, medical depression, and it can also cause seizures as well, and can, in a severe case, kill a dog or a cat. So again, alcohol, whether it's beer, wine, or whatever else, should never ever be given to our pets. That's just one thing. That's pretty much looked at what's in our fridge. Let's go over now and just see what's in the family pantry that we shouldn't be giving to our pets. The kitchen pantry. Now that's a source of joy for many people, including myself, if you like to have a feed or two. But again, there are many things in the kitchen pantry which are good for us, fantastic for us, and they taste great, but aren't good for our pets. Let's just have a look what's in there and just see what we can find without even looking very hard. The first thing may seem a little unusual is a humble can of baked beans. Now, baked beans themselves are okay, so don't misunderstand that. Nothing wrong with baked beans, giving that to a dog, all right? So that's not the issue. The issue is that sometimes baked beans have sugar-free replacements in them. So they actually don't use sugar, they use something like xylitol or another sugar-free replacement. So any product that has sugar-free replacements, particularly xylitol, can be quite poisonous to dogs and also cats too. So what can actually happen is that the sugar-free replacement can cause an increase in the natural sugar levels in the blood of a dog, and they can become quite sick because of that, and even go into a coma and perhaps even die. So not overplaying the point, but do not give products with sugar-free replacements in them. It's not the products themselves, it's the sugar-free replacement that's the problem, all right? So just watch that one in particular. Now, if you're like me, it's probably not a bad time now to have a cup of tea. We're going to do that. And this one's chamomile. And that's pretty nice, actually. That's a good cup of tea. But guess what? Dogs can't metabolize chamomile. And so if you give them chamomile tea, they could end up with diarrhea, and they can also end up with some forms of vomiting, but probably more commonly diarrhea. So keep the chamomile away from dogs. Again, quite a good thing for us, and in fact I'm just going to have another sip because that really did taste pretty good. And very relaxing, but again, not for our four-legged friends. So while we're talking about things to drink, let's have a look what else is in here. And if you're like me, you're probably going to have at least one cup of this a day in the morning. Coffee. Love coffee. Dogs can't metabolize it. So it sounds like the fun police is here telling you what not to feed and what not to do, but this is for the benefit of your pets. Dogs can't metabolize some of the active substances in coffee. What that can do is causes them to go into a hyperactivity state. It can cause arrhythmias with their heartbeat, can affect their heart directly, and as well as that, they can go into fits and seizures if you give them too much coffee. So no coffee for our four-legged friends either. And while we're talking about coffee, similar sort of family, cocoa. Now, cocoa would be one of my favourite substances in terms of cooking, and you can do lots of different things with cocoa. Again, cocoa falls in the same kind of category as coffee does for dogs, and what that means, same thing again, hyperactivity, seizures, irregular heart rates and so on. Interestingly, so does chocolate. So chocolate which has high cocoa quantities in it, so mainly dark chocolate I guess, would be the main culprit here that we're talking about, and I've seen this personally where dogs have come in with chocolate poisoning. So again, it's good for us, one of the favourite foods of many people, but don't give chocolate treats to dogs. If you want to give them a treat, you can buy special dog treats, but do not give them chocolate because again, they can't metabolise what's in it. That can cause them to go into seizures, again, irregular heart rate and so on. So it's something that we just shouldn't be doing. The whole message here is that dogs and cats are not mini versions of us. They're not a mini version of a human being. They don't have exactly the same digestive tract that we have. They don't have the same enzymes that we have to metabolize foods that they eat, and so therefore they can't eat the same foods we do. That's been the main message today. This has been Vet Your Pet. I'm Dr. Peter Higgins, and I look forward to talking to you again.